Thanks for staying with us. So it's Thursday. On Thursdays, we discuss family life issues. And whenever we have funny life issues, we have to bring in some people that we know that they just know better than us. So today, join us this morning is the chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN Lagos chapter, and the founding pastor of Global Impact Ministries, Pastor Yemi Davids. With his extensive experience in leadership and ministry, Pastor Yemi has been a voice of inspiration and guidance to millions. We'll be having a comprehensive conversation with him, covering topics such as state of the nation, societal ills, marriage, relationships, youth issues, religion, the whole works. We're excited to tap into his wealth of knowledge and insight. Welcome with us, Pastor Yemi Davids in the building.
Welcome to the show.
Good to have you.
Thanks for having me this beautiful Thursday morning. Yeah.
So there's so much we want to talk to you about, but I think we'll take it in stages because yesterday was International Friendship Day. Okay. So I think we can start with the issue of friendship because friendship as regards, because a lot of people have friends who they're growing together. Yeah. But there's always that problem of competition. Yeah. There's always that issue of, am I catching up with my friends? Or am I doing enough? Or can I trust them? Because sometimes you just feel like life is moving, especially when you get to that midlife.
Oh, yes.
You know, when you're 30s, everybody's focused on their children, raising children. But when this midlife, I'm not reviewing, okay, how far, I'm almost halfway through life. Yeah. Have I achieved? And you now start looking at your friends. Ramatu has gotten this. That one has gotten. Where am I? That burden is real when you get to your 40s and your mid-40s. I'd like you to help us navigate. Like, how can we begin to understand where we are and find peace where we are?
Thanks for having me. A beautiful day. Well, friendship, I've been blessed with good friends, and I think your mindset would help a lot with maintaining good friendship, on understanding your own purpose. It's just like the hand is different from the legs. So you're different from your friend. Yes, they inspire you, they encourage you, but you also know that assignments are different. So when you're evaluating, you have that healthy way of evaluating it. That, okay, this person is moving on in this dimension. How does that interpret or how does that, how do I express that based on my own assignment? The challenge comes when the hand wants to do the work of the legs. That's when you're not beginning to have unholy competition. And then somebody will always fall behind because the hand cannot do the work of the legs. So to be a good friend, you need to understand who you are first, and then understand people. Understand that we're different. I mean, many of us know Pastor Godman Akinlabi. We've been friends from university days. We're different. Maybe I'm a bit extrovertish. He's a bit calmer. So I understand. And then his assignment, even in ministry, is not the same as mine. So I am inspired by him. He also inspires me. So that way, it's healthy. And believe me, I think God would want us to have such relationships. I realize that people focus more on marital relationships when it comes to relationships. But there's a place for friendship. For instance, as a friend, there are certain things we can discuss that I'm not able to talk to my wife about. In that sense, because man to man. Wow. In that sense, oh yes.
Wasn't you pastor that told us that we shouldn't hide anything from our spouses?
At least I'm hiding. I'm saying something.
They're running it through
him, which will help the marriage. For instance, if I have issues with my wife, maybe something's bothering me, even when I'm tempted as a pastor. When somebody is tempting me, you do.
So you get tempted?
Oh yes. The higher you go, the more.
Really? I would like to revisit that, but let us stay on friendship. Let me write it down so I don't forget.
So I like that you mentioned the importance of these relationships as opposed to, when we got to the age of marriage, we all looked forward to marriage because marriage seemed to be the ultimate relationship you needed. Yeah. But we had the parents' relationship, we had various other relationships. This morning, I have not spoken to my grandma since 2023. Wow. Just send messages. Tell grandma I'm seeing her. Last night, I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. She's the eldest in the village, and so when they call you, is that when you will now, So I called her, and I loved the conversation. it really helped me. The fact that, you know, somebody can still call me my pet names and all of that. And those are some of our relationships. They fix us in different spaces in our lives.
Yes.
You know, I want you to highlight how important it is, particularly because you talked about friendships. We have friends.
Of course.
And in misunderstanding our different spaces that we are. I've been through a journey where a lot of times when I fight with my friends, I say, I just misunderstood. This is what, she's tomatoes, this one is ataro.
They are two different things.
Two different things, but I'm trying to do maybe fried rice and I'm thinking, why don't you just turn green? And you know, I'm fighting with this friend. But really, deep down, how do we understand those relations and how useful are they to us?
I think the main enemy is ego. Yeah, many people want to impress their friends, or the target is to do better than your friends. And if you're like that, you're going to have problems. For instance, one of the things that helped my relationship, or the input that my friends have had in my life, is just understand that, we are going through the same challenges. Anything you're going through, sometimes the enemy, you know, makes you feel you're the only one going through this, you have a special problem, and it's overwhelming at times in terms of mental health. But one day, we came to church after a conference, and we realized that some of our equipments had been stolen. You know, very hefty. I was angry, it was a lot of money. I was in the office, just kind of discouraged. What is this now? I just had that thought. Call your friend. Those are the kind of things I was talking about. He's a pastor too, you know. So I called him and said, Pastor, they just saw something. He said, how many did they take from your side? I said, what happened? He said, they were in our own place a week ago. Just that, just liberated. Just hearing, they took keyboard here. They took keyboard, mixer. I said, thank you, Jesus. So we were laughing, you know. And that just helped my day. So the moment you there's nothing you're going maritally, financially, that others haven't gone through before.
Sorry, Pastor, I'm sorry. I know ladies will come in, but I want to pump it here for a second. Because you pastors also told us that we shouldn't be sharing our problems.
We never said that. Who said that to you?
Me, I went to marriage counseling. Don't tell a third party. Even bring reception. All the chairman. Don't bring a third party into your marriage. And now we're hearing you tell us.
They told us not to keep a single friend.
Because you are telling
they didn't tell you.
They told us.
Yes, God bless you. They told us.
You made a comment about misunderstanding. I think you misunderstood the counsel. I think you have to contextualize it, okay? There's always a thought first that can damage things. And there's always a voice that can help. I think the issue is discretion. Like the church thing I mentioned now. I mean, he's a pastor. If I was egotistical, you don't want to mention anything that happened to you. You want to present a face that our church is perfect. But if that is out of the way, I can tell you that, wow, there's still some things here. And he's able to, I realize that the more vulnerable I am, the easier for the person to also be vulnerable.
The reason why I asked that question is because when you say you have male friends, because I feel like men are not talking to themselves. When they talk to themselves, they're only talking business, but they're not talking hurts, emotions, how they are feeling.
Very few.
They just stole this for me. And the reason why they don't probably do that is because they've told us to keep our marriage.
No, I don't think it's a marriage thing. I think it's a cultural thing. Men don't talk. Even with their wives.
Thank you.
There is a problem with men. I pastor men, you know, and I always said, express your emotions. The culture tells you if you cry, you're a weak man, you know, and Jesus wept, you know, that kind of thing. So I think it's a cultural thing that now maybe invaded the religious space. And I think we need to change the narrative. And I'm grateful for forum like this where such things can be, you know, you can express your emotions, you can cry, you can cry. When you hold it back, you're hurting yourself.
Yes. So I remember, this story, my son, one day he was crying and then my daughter was not telling him, don't cry, be a man, be a man. I was like, hold on, don't disturb him, let him cry. That's why he has tear glands. God created the tear glands. It's not just for decoration, it's for you to use it. So
I think we need to, let people know that it's okay to express your emotion. Now, life's also about experiment. Okay, you have 2-3 friends. You relate with them. By the time you live with 3 of them, you will know which one you can lean on more. Nobody's asking you to remain close to 3 of them. Right? I mean, out of the 3, this one talks too much. I say something to this one and I'm hearing it all over the world. But this one, it's more mature. This one is helpful. It's about, evaluating those relationships, but it's good to have friends.
So, for friendship to stand the test of time, It's like a symbiotic kind of relationship. So I gain from you, you gain from me. That's how relationships are. So I want to understand, do you guys have conflicts? If you have conflicts, how do you guys resolve it?
Yes, I take him on. I take him up. How do you say it? I face him straight. That he did something to me, you know, I don't like it. And he apologizes. And the same thing. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about apologies.
Simple. Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, I think it has a lot to do with maturing and maybe we should celebrate Pastor Sam Adeyemi here because the kind of mentor you have determines your outcome, you know. So I think the kind of training I went, you know, I got from him, I'm still getting the same thing from Pastor Gordon. I think helps a lot. Many people say apologizing as something, you know, even men, I have issues with that. When I'm counseling with a woman that has been married, a couple that's married for 20 years, and the woman is telling you, my husband has never apologized to me for the last 20 years. I said, what? He's been right for 20 years.
Wow.
And I sing, there's a song I have for them, How Great Thou Art. That for 20 years you've been...
No mistakes.
Abba, you are damaging somebody's life. So if in 10, 20 years somebody is thinking, I'm always wrong, you're always right, you've damaged the person. What is your joy in that? So apologizing, doesn't...
Yeah, but you know, I wanted to talk about but let me just quickly shout out to Pastor Sam Adeyemi because I know he anointed Wuli Arole. And now the quality...
No, it wasn't him. It was Poju. Pastor Poju.
Quality of content from that guy now is so
different. Yes.
Yeah, so apologies amongst friends, you know, sometimes we think it's a big deal. So for some it's a sign of weakness. And then
Say it in English.
There's apology and there's apology.
Okay.
You know, so you have a friend and your friend reaches out and says, like, I'm like you. I don't know whether you talk like as bluntly as I am. I don't know how to tell my friend that, well, the thing where you know, I cannot sugarcoat it.
Okay,
so I'm doing more damage in trying to express my thoughts to my friend, you know, and you must respect your friend.
Oh, yes.
When you're having that conversation, they must... The upbringing I have is that when you're expressing how hot you feel, try
honor the person
to be most honorable to the friend. At least you still show respect.
Yes.
The person has hurt you, but you must show respect. And then I'm going at that friend, like, say, I can kill the friend, like I gave birth to the friend. And so maybe that will now inform the kind of apology I get. Maybe that. But sometimes when you're apologizing and your friends apologizing, you feel that... Are you sure this come from your mind? You'll be saying,
exactly.
Sorry to yourself. Because the sorry is not really sorry.
If your apology is not accepted, I will tell the person, it's not accepted. You didn't really understand my pain. Now, sometimes it's seed sowing. Like I came in here, you know, and there was a smile. I smiled and everybody smiled. So sometimes it's seed sowing. Okay, take the plunge. When I apologize to you genuinely, I am also setting you up to be able to do it when it's time. Most times people are waiting for the other person to do it first. You know, I won't be the first person to cry. I'll be the first person to apologize. So you don't need that, you know. And that's how also you know which kind of friends you should be. Yeah, because this one doesn't really
take apology.
So you know how to manage that. But it's okay to apologize, not just to your friend, to your spouse, to your children. It's a part of our culture that the older, the wiser. Ma'am?
If your friend is older than you, because me and YK is a very...
I've had to confront... I believe in...
who apologizes? Or how should the apology go?
She can apologize to you.
Because of age.
Oh, you set the person up. Like, I mean, it's like in the West, when you're arresting, you know, they will say, sir, sir, until they put you inside the car, sir, until you first it on, sir, until you know. So I think, I've had to confront people. I believe in crucial conversations. I think what the damage we have is when people gossip. People don't confront people holily. They talk about which creates problems.
Yes. Gosh.
This person hurt me, even as an older person.
Sir,
yeah, sir, it pained me when you did that. It pained me, sir. You didn't used to do that, sir. You affected me, sir.
That's a salon.
I heard that you said this, sir. Sir. You know, it's paining me, and in fact, sir, I'm not happy, sir. You know, and then okay, I'm so sorry, Pastor. I'm so okay, and then it helps. It helps.
Okay, let me let you jump in here.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you. Adi Kabasa spoke at ELC last year.
Yeah.
And he referenced his relationship with you.
Yeah.
Having transcended you being a friend and now you are his pastor.
Yeah.
And when we talk about friendship, we must also understand that people change. Their life, they become, Mariah is now our MD. Yes, she's my friend, but she's our MD. And then you have friends that have become maybe governor, or friends that have become, and you must still, how do you not become a sycophant? How do you honor them but still be able to tell them the truth? And how do you balance it? Because I like what he said, but I'm thinking that it might be because you are a pastor, and so he's looking at you from the spiritual.
Okay. No, I mean, you've hit something very powerful. Nothing helps a relationship like understanding people and their seasons. People take people for granted. It's like our first daughter is 23 thereabout.
Wow.
So there was a time, of course, you could just call her when she was maybe 5 or 6, but now she's an adult. She can vote. She can drive, you know, those things. So you have to respect people's seasons. So people change and transition, and if you value that, the relationship will stay. And sometimes you can have a sit down, coffee, and say, okay, what are the rules of engagement? Now you are the governor, my governor, you know, and then you have some conversation. How do you want me to relate with you? Can I tell you some home truths? How would you prefer it? You know, that kind of mature,
upfront conversation.
Yeah, if you don't do that, you can make mistakes sincerely. But that kind of conversation will help, so that, okay, I would like you to call me on Fridays. I would like us, you know, to say it like this, or pass it through my wife, you know, something like that. It helps. So that's...
Okay, now let's go to relationship, because I'm trying to end this friendship matter quickly, because there's a lot of juiciness in relationship. And the reason why I wanted to get into, because you said something earlier that you get tempted.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put things in phases.
Yeah.
Because somebody spoke to me a couple of days ago, and she entered this marriage with, like, when I say love, head over heels love.
Wow.
You know, when the woman is totally love.
And give her all.
She gave everything.
Yeah.
Now he has broken her heart. Totally. And sometimes people will advise you, don't go in fully.
In case they hurt you.
Let your eyes open. Don't let that blind you. Be very crystal clear. You know. So my question is, should we still marry for love in today's times? Because the realities have changed. Economics have changed. Roles have changed. It's more the people who have transactional relationships seem to have more sense and more reality, because they are there and they understand what they are there for. That doesn't mean that there's no love. Yeah. But we are clear who is doing what. Okay. When you just go there head over heels and life happens, it breaks people. Yeah. So in 2025, a young woman wants to get married. What kind of advice is there still love today?
Yeah. Thank you. I think it's the way we define love. Okay. For instance, I grew up with that slogan, love is blind. If love is blind, I don't think God would have shown his love to me. He can see me very well, you know. So I think it's the way we define love. We see love as being blind. Like, I have been pastoring for over 2 decades. One of the things that God will do for you is to give you signals. But when you are blind, you won't see it. So when somebody comes up to me and say, my wife or my husband just did this, it looks like out of the blues, it's a lie. I won't lie to you. Some signs would have been there that will help you either anticipate or confront or expect. God does that. And it's not just about relationship. In many things, you're getting a job, you know, you did interview in the place, you will see some sign whether this job is a good one or you're just deceiving yourself. So when people meet people, and that's why we have courtship, for instance.
Pastor, sorry to pause you. The reason I'm pausing, I'm cutting you because this thing you are saying, we've heard it before. You see, signs or no signs, because nobody is perfect. There will always be signs.
So when you see signs...
Yes, I mean, I will leave, they'll tell you to be resilient.
No. Did you even see the signs? I'm telling you, did you? I've had conversations with people that say, but these things happened before you got married. You didn't tell anybody. You didn't say anything. Then now it's this horrible, it now looks like, but this thing didn't start here.
And we have already bought a Shebi.
It's like our health too. It's like our health. I'm going to be 50 next year, for instance. I've heard that when you are 40, do test. Now I don't maybe do any test for 7 years. Yes. God forbid. And something just shows up. You know, and you're talking to the doctor and say, this just showed up. No. Maybe you should have tracked it. The way ladies respond to love is over men. We are more logical. So our advice is, in the midst of the passion and the emotion, shine your eyes. Shining your eyes is not suspecting the person. It's to help you build a better relationship. people have made mistakes, and mistakes will still happen. I think it's the continuous education, you know, that matters. That as much as you love this person, ask questions.
Let me give an example.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies. You meet a guy.
Yeah.
You're dating.
Yeah.
And he loves to spend. Everything he earns, and he spends on you.
Yes.
And you enjoy it.
Yes.
So you know that he's not the kind of guy that saves. As he's earning, he's spending because he loves life.
Yes.
But you and he loves, and you like every other thing about him. You're not getting into marriage, and you want to start saving for, and you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car.
So you want to start saving?
You as because now you're a married woman,
Yes.
you want to. But he, as he's getting his salary, he's taking out to dinner, he's spending, and you are now getting frustrated that this man is spending. And they'll say, "Did you not see this? I saw the sign, but it wasn't enough for me to say I won't marry him."
But was there a conversation on it? That's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying you should not marry the person because you know that he gets angry. You evaluate it and still make your decision. That can I still stick with this kind of weakness?
Okay.
If you have agreed to stay with that, then maybe have a conversation. You can be the saver. Let him be spending. I'll be the saver. Having such conversations will reduce the level of hurt, of pain. Believe me.
Yeah.
Believe me. Just okay. There you spend a lot.
Acknowledging the problem.
Yes. You spend a lot. Okay. Look, it's like you're a spender. Me, I'm the saver. So can we agree on this, on that? So at the end of the day, something happens and he says he doesn't have money to handle the thing. He won't like shock or shake you the way something devastates people.
Right.
I mean, it's like abuse, physical abuse. Most of the times when we counsel with people, the signs would have been there. It's very rare that, except you're rushed into the relationship, the marriage, either he gets angry and then throws. Someone is already throwing mug, you know, at the wall. Maybe not at you. I don't like what's happening.
It's coming to you very soon.
That kind of thing. So instead of you have a conversation, or you're ready to dodge, like David was dodging Saul's javelin. So I feel this matter of crucial conversations, not in our culture. We like to pretend. We like to lie to ourselves. Like that thing you're saying about spending now, if you ask that lady, she won't say spending at that time. You'll be hearing, he just loves me. He can spend anything on me. It won't be defined as spending. But when Wahala starts,
I have to go on a break.
Okay.
Because you see, these things just get. I mean, I'm sorry that I've almost drowned the ladies today because when pastors tell us, when coaches, not pastors, coaches tell us have conversations. The men are looking at it as a lecture now.
Yeah.
Any relationship they have,
that was exactly
they are like
where I was
tired.
Okay.
Let's have a conversation. And the men are saying, I beg.
I don't want to have a
I just want to
conversation.
hang out with you. We do this conversation again. I mean, let's go on a break.
How do you do
When we come back,
conversations? Okay, we'll come
we
back.
take this further. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. You can join the conversation 020-163-52013, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and also YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. So before the show, I was telling you about when we tell people we want to have conversation, husbands or spouses. Once they hear, let's have a conversation. They freeze.
Or they lock up.
But even boyfriend, girlfriend, they don't want to hear. I beg. So how do we now have the conversation?
Okay, I think it's a cultural thing. Believe me, we grew up in a patriarchal system where men feel superior. And most of our fathers, raised us like that. So when you hear conversation, it looks like a challenge, and we always poise for war. Who will win this conversation? And believe me, I admit that we have lapses in those areas as men, and it's not helping relationships, whether in the office or in the marriage. And if you're a man, male factor listening, it's a feedback for us that we need to hear our spouses better, our kids, your boss, your downline. Because nobody is fighting you. It's not everything about fight. It's not about win, lose. You can learn from anyone. My other advice is in marriage context now, each person should understand their own spouse. How is the best way to talk to this person? Yours might be different from mine. We have the sandwich method where, my husband is a gister. We're enjoying the conversation. How can I deploy this matter within the matter? and then come back to the gist. You know, there has to be some skillfulness.
No, when I've tried that. So let me explain. Through life story, I knew that the mood was good.
Yes.
We're already gisting.
But don't spoil the mood.
No, I did not spoil the mood. But when I brought in that conversation, he said, "But we were having fun. So why did you now bring this topic?"
Exactly.
God bless you.
That was the reply. He said, "But we were having fun. Were we not having a good? Were we not in a good mood? Why did you decide to bring this topic up?"
So not look like you're spoiling
That looked like I said no, but I didn't say it that way. Like I just felt like since we are already discussing many things.
I think the ego thing affects us men a whole lot. We're getting better.
That's what our mothers told us. You have fine.
Through the food.
The higher
you wake him up at night when you are breasted. All the methods we've deployed is all of
It's not working.
You guys, it's not good, though.
You are representing me, so we're facing you, sir.
No. The higher ground is this. I think it's still this conversation thing where you can agree on if there's something on my mind I need to pass across. Is there to talk at all, or is there a way you would prefer me to convey it? But the constant is there are matters either from you or from me, and it's going to mature the relationship. And we process. When you say that, it might not give you an answer immediately. But at least you drop the seed.
Okay. Okay.
So I think that will help.
I think we may need to learn that men process.
Oh yes.
We're not
that things have been told at home. Even I didn't hear, but it has entered. Then for some hours or even days.
1 second. Ade is on the phone. He's been waiting for a while. Good morning, Ade from Maryland. Go ahead, please. Ade, thanks for calling. I think we lost that call. Ramatu.
Okay, so I wanted to say that, but they take a long time to process. It takes a long time.
Are you there? Ade?
You are talking about...
I can't
They
hear
need to
her.
increase the volume.
Okay.
Can you hear her? Me, I can't.
Hello?
I can't hear her. Go ahead, Ramatu.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was like, it takes a long time to process all of these things. And you know, before you were saying that we're supposed to know all of these things during courtship before we get married. You know that there are new behaviors that they bring up in the marriage. In fact, every week there's a new behavior.
Ramatu.
Are you sure you guys also bring, you ladies also bring this behavior?
It's true though. Abinima. Every new week, new behavior. So we're always, we are not computers.
From my own constituency as a pastor, I also encourage ladies to pray for their men. I mean, it's just, but hey, wait, before you have
Because that one, Mariah,
I know, which we pray for our ladies.
I agree with you.
No, because it's like when you're working in a place. I realize, like an entrepreneur, you know, if you're working with someone, the difference is in somebody trying to think about how everybody will be paid, getting the clients, all those things. It's not the same as you, that in quote, you just work and receive your salary. So sometimes men overthink, we overcarry things. We just assume we're carrying the entire world. And that overwhelming processing is what affects some behaviors you see happen, you know, the way we process things, like the competition thing. I
totally agree with you, based on experience.
Yes.
You know, the battles that I have fought in my marriage are those that I didn't win, are the ones I didn't pray about. And so it was tough at one point, and my mom says, hey, Shebi, you can't do everything. You can do it all by yourself, and you have refused to pray. It was just out of the blue. I didn't talk to her about, you know, and she just called it, that's why everybody's just, you will not pray about it. And since then, even to ask for money for soup, we pray. because I don't want to be met with...
Like the competition thing now, I know you ladies, you do, but I think for men it's different.
Competition, okay.
Yeah, and the way a man's day goes, it will amaze you. Like the financial matters, the competition that happened that day. You know, you didn't know, you just, you know, maybe one of his friends called him, or he saw something, or the boss, or promotion didn't happen, you know, he now comes home.
Let me take this call, sir, because we have very little time. We're trying to squeeze in so many things for you. Going in from Ikeja, thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Pastor. Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear her?
Yes.
Increase the volume, please. Go ahead.
Thank you. I wanted to say that why is it that it's only women that we're always setting place for conversation in the relationship? It's become something with us. Why are men not saying, let us have a conversation? If that has made us look somewhat of a troublesome person. They are saying conversation is the bedrock of every relationship. And so we always do it for mood. After was saying just now that, okay, the man has gone for business and all of that. we also go to work. We also have things that we have children, we have all of that. Yeah. And men will not come and say, this lady has gone through something. How do you want it to work? Every time I want to say, okay, let us, I will say, okay, at the end of every month, what do you think I should do better? All this kind of nice conversation.
Thank you, Jerry.
What makes you happy and all of that.
Thank you,
Pastor. You talk too much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and you are correct. But women are more
soft.
Not even soft, expressive. There's a word they use. They have verbal power. Men have muscular power in that sense. So in that context, women talk more generally, by nature, by you know. But I'm not. But I wasn't even saying that men shouldn't. I do that at home. No, it was because of our conversation that something is coming up. Okay, you have to have a conversation. If it was the other way around, I would tell the men, have a conversation, and I also teach them how to have the conversation in terms of you don't just start shouting at your woman or the conversation that goes in such a way that you're always blaming the person. This communication thing is a whole industry on its own, teaching and training people on how to converse, and we don't have it here. We don't have it in our schools. We don't have it, you know.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I feel that a lot of times women are bigger on self-development and emotional intelligence trainings that we have to go through.
Yeah.
And we do not have enough conferences and platforms that encourages and trains men. On Sundays you hear it, but when we are calling for men's conference, I think that our leaders, because
they don't show up.
They don't show up. You have to find a way to sandwich it in a way that would bring them in, because marriages are under major attack. People are getting divorced at a rate that, you know, our women used to manage, but our women nowadays are not managing anymore. So if we want marriages to last long, then we need to equip our men better. Since it doesn't come, the family system does not equip them from the home to have that level of emotional intelligence to manage a home properly. I
mean, I must celebrate the female folks for that. I mean, look at Super Falcons, look at Super Eagles. I'm sorry, I'm bringing it up. And, you know, on Saturday night, I was preparing for service, and my daughter, we have 4 daughters. Yeah. So, understand,
Wow.
you know, and she came, one of our daughters, Daddy, the score's 2-2. I said, well, we're going to win this match, you know, and I was preparing for service. And when we won the match, for me, it's a big win. And I think it's also a good sign for Nigeria, you know, in the midst of the pain and all those things people are going through, that we can have this kind of win and ride upon it. And I think the men would have loads of lessons to learn if they want to live a better life. You know, when people die, I see more men passing out, you know, than women. And I think the men needs to learn that life is not as difficult as you are taking it. And there's this thing that we need to agree on as men, if you're watching, that your woman wants you successful, wants everything to work out. I mean, she might not be a perfect woman. I'm going to pray for people in the hospital, men, you know, when I pray for men. And I'm always finding their mother or their wife, you know. As where are the other guys that you are, you
hanging
know,
out
now those things that you are doing? Where are they? This is your, should I say, your greatest asset. So why not like invest in it, give them time, love them, and if any demon is chasing us, let them cast it out.
Let me take this call. Steve is calling from Abuja. Thanks, Steve. You're live.
Good morning.
Go ahead,
my name is Steven.
Yes, Steven.
Calling from Abuja. I really enjoy this topic. I want to thank Pastor Yemi Davids. And one of the things I want to say about marriage is that marriage does not have manuscripts. You know, I want to talk as a Christian now. When you want to get married to a woman, you know, one of the things that you notice that is skin that you talked about and all of that. Because there are some things that come out of marriages after people are married that they didn't even bargain for and all of that. There are some things that, you know, there are some characters that are showing up after you are married and all of that, because both of you are coming from different background, different orientation and all of that. So one of the things that we help individuals how to tolerate one another, how to forgive easily. Like me as a man, I've never, you know, kept married with anybody, you know, all my life. I'm 50 years old by the grace of God. I've never kept married. You know, I would have two scriptures. When the Bible talk about woman, I saw it in weaker vessel. So your prayer may not be hindered. You know, I understood that part very well. When you are not in unison with your wife, then you have a lot of things in your life as a man most of your finance, your peace, and all of that. I mean, I've been enjoying peace. It doesn't mean that I don't have argument with my wife, but I will be able to. I reported my wife anybody over 10 years that we are married. Because when I met my wife, one thing that God told me is that, see, be a better person to yourself. So when you be a better person to yourself, your wife will follow suit. Not that my wife, not that they are perfect, but I will be able to enjoy marriage. You know, marriage is beautiful, but it depends on the cutlery that you use. So I'm telling you.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you,
Pastor Davids. There's something that happened on Saturday to me I'd like to share with you.
Yes.
So I was in a car accident recently, and I wanted to, my back was hurting me, so I wanted to walk around. So Saturday morning, I decided to take a walk with my husband and my son. So usually we walk within our small estate, it's just a small street. But my son said, Mommy, I'd like us to walk outside the estate. So because of that, so my husband was with us. He said, no, let's walk within the estate. Yes. I said, well, my son says, let's go. I mean, I agree with my son. Let's go outside the estate. And he kept saying, no, don't stay. You know, he was really insisting. And I said, I hear you, but let's go outside. So I followed when we went outside. And then when we got outside, Tokwe's husband drove past and wound down and greeted me. Mariah, I heard about that. I said, see, that's what you want. You want everybody to be greeting you about the accident. That you want the whole world to be greeting. I said, that was not the intention. I just wanted to walk. And I'm thinking, how is that disobedience? You have given me an opinion. An idea. Okay. And I say, I will walk outside. How is that disobedience? So the point I'm trying to make is that some men, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's ego.
What you
are saying is
they didn't hear you.
It's
something else.
And I know it's like an issue between now, I mean, I'm a man, you know, and the weakness, maybe it's a weakness or the way I'm wired, you know, the way it is now is like between him and your son. And it's like you picked your son. That is.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
I also do that. I have 4 daughters. Sometimes when my wife says something and our daughter says something and I pick on my daughter, it looks like, oh.
Because you like your daughter. So you see it differently.
Yeah. and that's what I wanted to say, especially in marriage, in marital context, differences. If we understand our differences, we anticipate behavior and even mistakes. Differences. We have to agree that we are different. The way a man is wired is not the same as we are competitive. We want to win, and it's that same win that makes us build things anyway. So just that's a downside.
How long will men have this idea? Because now we're in our 40s. Me, I'm no longer I never really was. Maybe I tried to disguise it, a submissive kind of wife. I have my thought process.
Yes.
And I only respect people who think I have it. To assume that I can tell you what to do and you do it and it's a mistake.
I don't even believe a man should.
But in marriages, for you to, they'll tell us at your wedding, as one of the advices, be a sheep. If you marry lion, you be a sheep. We're not sheep. So now, we are now adults. We are midlife, and you are still giving me instructions. Where will you realize that you need to now, that conversation, that lecture, that talk you don't want to talk, is my way of life. That you must talk to me. Not talk at me or instruct.
Yeah, but you agree that on this table now, you have a leader, right?
Yes.
And there are things that happen that she would say, what do you guys think, right? You agree? And then you put and there are some things that she will just say, this. Does it make her... You understand?
Okay,
you understand? So it depends.
If she says you should take a break,
you can't say no, can't take a break. No, she's your leader. So in relationships, we have to agree. I mean, there are times when, okay, let's agree on these things. But there are some areas where somebody has to say, okay, we're going to London for Christmas or we're going to the village for Christmas, you know. And there are times when, if you as a woman don't think that's the best idea, I encourage you to also pray about it or also find a way of...
But even if you dissent, because something happened over 2 weeks, these 2 weeks. My kids had to go to the Airbnb to stay with my relative, my husband's side of the family. Everybody was lounging. They rented the place. And I said, I don't want to be there. I'd rather be home alone.
Yes.
But I respect you. I'll take the kids with you. So I took the kids and I stayed home alone and he could not process it. And I just, it's not
But
any
did he fight you on
disrespect. There was a fight.
Because, I mean...
There was an accusation, sir.
Okay.
That,
you don't want to be there.
You don't want to be because it's my family. If it was your family...
See, when a man reacts, there's a string. Like, you'll be surprised that I say...
Because when I go to my family, I don't drag my husband, but I feel comfortable.
So when it comes to his own family, for instance, it's a bit sensitive. And I don't know what happened the previous episodes.
Yes.
So your reaction now is not just on that matter. I'm sure there are 2 or 3 things.
Your own reaction is colored.
Yes. Okay, why is it when it comes to my family, you want to stay home?
We have to wrap up soon.
I need to... no, you cannot do that. Okay, so, geez, we've spoken a lot about the nuances, the things that are influencing what we do that we're not conscious of. And it reminded me of something. I want to picture this before I ask you the question about... There was a little argument that broke out on Saturday at a party, and it was because they called the younger before the older one in a Yoruba family to dance, and she said, "I'm not going to," and it became drama until, funny enough, it was a pastor. One of the pastors came out and said, "Why are you trying to beg her that she's single? She's not reacting to the fact that they did not call her. She's reacting to the fact that they called my younger sister because she's married." There are many things happening that we're not seeing. So sometimes we're looking at, when you said that thing about the son, it was like light bulb. We're not seeing it, but there are small things that are nanosecond triggers in the mind of the person we are responding to. So we need to give grace and do a lot of prayer. Now, my question to you, sir, you mentioned temptation earlier. And it seems that, like, as our men get richer, because now, before I don't even bother with my husband, but now my husband is going to the gym. He's now looking very, very gege, and there's more money now. I'm like, okay, temptations will come, and people would, it's not even the temptation, they will want to tempt you because they feel like you have what we want. And I don't think that he can discuss temptation with me. I've tried and tried and tried, it's not working. So how can we advise men? How can men deal with temptation outside?
Yeah, I mean, coincidentally in our church this month, we are studying the life of Joseph.
Okay.
And that's a classic template anybody can follow. And the truth is, for a man, that thing you are toying with, if you are toying with it anyway, it doesn't have a future in it. If Joseph can escape that, then you should be able to escape it in terms of, don't say I don't have any option. It was very tight for Joseph because he was the boss's wife. Like, it looks like an opportunity, but he was able to discern. And I tell men clearly that what is behind 7, how do you say it in Yoruba? What is behind is much more than that. And I'm hoping that men here can always be in the right forum or fora where the realities of these things are told them, because what is at stake is much more.
Sir, let me pause you for a second. I'm sorry about that. Let me jump in there. A man will tell you, I love my wife. I see her as the mother of my children. I don't, but that the erotic part of me no longer awakens towards her because I see her as the mother of my children. So you can't force me to be emotionally attached to somebody else when my secretary or somebody else gives me that attraction. So I am a biology. I'm a human being. My body is not moved. My body is not moved by the mother of my children. My body is not moved by brother. You can't force it.
Ma'am, it depends on the value system. If somebody's value system is warped, what can I do about it?
There's nothing.
But I want to live long. I want to live well. And I say this categorically, that if a woman is in your life, one of your aims should be to be a blessing to her. That's my thinking. When you get married, if you notice, the father picks the daughter and then hands over this person to you. Like, okay, you're not the new father. You're not the new person. My thinking is, I want to do better than her father. 10 years, 40 years. But somebody else's value system is not like that. Then whatever comes out of it, you face it yourself. But value system, but if your value system is not helpful, you will pay the price in the future. I want to be a blessing to her. I want to be a blessing to her. And I'm not even looking at what she should do for me in that sense. I want to be a blessing to her. I want her dad to come and visit 10 years, 15 years, and either say it or you're doing a better job. It's clear. So, self-centeredness is the problem of relationships. When you always look at things from your own perspective alone.
I don't want that.
I'm tired. But okay, you want your secretary, that's what you want. But how does it affect this woman? You're married. But if you're self-centered, that means you don't even care how that decision affects What if she says, okay, she's mother of children, but there's a neighbor that she likes too? How will you react?
No, women are supposed to.
No, because even when I talk to pastors, I say, pastors, when you're leading a church, put yourself in the shoes of the congregation. Congregation, put yourself in the shoes of the pastor. So if as a pastor I'm preaching now, I'm teaching for 4 hours, can you choose standard that you see that somebody talking? Put yourself, husband, put yourself in the shoes of your wife. Wife, no matter what's happening, put yourself in the shoes of your husband. If we can agree on that today, maybe our response to things will be different. Like, okay, if I was the husband too, and my wife talks to me like that, it's not the best. Or if I'm the wife and
time is fast,
and this person, I think that I
really wanted to touch on the fact that you recently became the chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria Lagos chapter. Yes. Congratulations!
Thank you.
How is that going?
It's a lot of work, but it's I believe in collaboration. Just like I mentioned about the hand and the legs, it takes different parts for the body to function well. So the PFN in Lagos is more like the body of Christ coming together to do things. I mean, the recent Benue killings, I just announced to churches, let's put things together and be a blessing to Benue State. And I was impressed by the response. Like if one church is trying to do it, we went with like 60 tons of relief materials. That's a lot, 4 trucks. Different churches.
Well, as the chairman, how do you plan to reconcile the Gen Zs? Because many of them, their responses to prescriptures or this, they criticize everything. You say something and they are poking and they are criticizing pastors. How we used to see the word before, they don't see like that. So, as a Pentecostal chairman, what task is ahead in trying to reconcile this generation to the church?
We have to agree that that's the future. I respect and love the Gen Zs a lot. They're not like us, and it's okay. It's just for you to understand the terrain they're in and the realities. We didn't grow up with the Wi-Fi, so they have access to information. So if you understand that, that means you can't just dump things. When we're growing up, when somebody else says something, okay, amen. But here, when somebody says something, when you're saying it, they are checking it. So when you understand that, that means your communication should be different, maybe more detailed and sensible. So I think, and that's what we're doing with the youth wing of the PFN, where engaging them better. I love younger people. I believe they're the future of our nation, and I believe engaging them, respecting them, and then finding ways to allow them receive wisdom, because that's another thing they also need to learn, that you are Gen Z today, one day you'll be Gen-married, and then you understand that you are going there, that we too were young before, so that mutual, like the example you gave broadcast when, like David and Saul thing, where Saul loved David, he wanted him to bring down Goliath, but he now gave him his own armor. And the older people need to understand that as sincere as you can be, your method will most likely not work for them. And I love the way David now came and said, this thing cannot work for me. And I love the way Saul said, oh, sorry. So the challenge you're having now is people now trying to say, you must use this armor. This was what I was using to do all the battles. So you too, that's the problem we're having. So the older people need to understand that the methods that work for you would most likely not work for the younger people. I know you are sincere, you want them to succeed in life, right? To make it, but what helps you to succeed most likely will not be the way they would do it. So understand that. Allow them to use their sling and the stone. Fantastic. While you're also giving them opportunities.
They're commending Pastor. He said words on marble. Self-centeredness is why the word is, self-centeredness is the enemy of relationships. And another one says, Cormac says, ego is the number one. So they are quoting Pastor David today. The third one. So thank you, Pastor, for your philanthropy and help towards the needy in Benue. God bless you sincerely.
Someone said, ask him about Exodus 21:10.
What is inside it? Maybe, when you're interpreting scriptures, the understanding of the process, the Old Testament, then the New Testament. Sometimes people just pick out a verse out of context. For instance, before Jesus died and rose again, everything was different post-resurrection. So when it's some things, maybe in the book of Leviticus, all those places, the interpretation is not the same as the Pauline epistles to the Gentiles that were not in the Jewish nation, those kind of things. So
okay, we have to wrap up with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Pastor. So you're telling me in this entire world, there's no woman that can tempt you?
I didn't say that.
He said so.
I said it tempt me.
He said temptation.
Oh,
He described
Oh,
it.
is that what I said? That's what I'm tempted. I call Pastor Godman.
So give us an idea the kind of thing that tempts you.
Why do you want to do that?
So that we can prevent
No, see,
them.
every man must agree that your wife is not the most beautiful woman, and every woman must also agree that your husband is not the most
That's
responsible
not what
woman.
they told us. Because they are changing everything.
No.
That's the most beautiful woman
in the eye.
No, I agree.
In the eye of the beholder.
Those capable of transferring information can also transfer error. So, and life is about progress. Sometimes some things you learned 20 years ago, you need to unlearn or, So,
because you see, the reason, because before you became a Christian, before you became tongue speaking,
yes, ma'am.
There was a life of Pastor Yemi back then, like the Yemi kind of guy, Yemi. Like. So now, because now Yemi is like a pastor, he's now Pastor David. Yes. So he has his wife. Yes. So if that woman that was in Yemi's life in the days, that kind of woman now shows up.
You still meet them. So what I tell leaders or pastors is, you know the kind of person that tempts you. Everybody knows their model. Even the woman will know. You know the kind of man that if I talk to this man too much, I'll misbehave. That's why you run away.
Even
when we are,
say know thyself.
So it's not every man that can tempt you, Mariah. It's not every woman that can tempt me. But there's a model. You all have everybody. You have so when you know, like a lady was to be employed in our church. She was qualified generally, but it wasn't going to work out because this model is not good for me. Because she will work close to me. So and that's the fleeing thing. You know what you will not eat, don't put it close to you.
Knowing yourself.
And there's some people that even if you stay with them in the house for 27 years, nothing will happen. Know thyself.
Thank you. I think we can end with that. Thank you very much, Pastor David. That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.